Hey YouTube, I'm Mattermax here, and I wanted to do a response video and actually kind of start my YouTube channel. I've had a lot of people ask me, get your YouTube channel going, get it going, and I keep myself busy, so explains why it doesn't happen. But I want to start out with a hobby of the internet itself is mocking the mentally ill. I know that sounds a lot crueler than it should be, but there's just an interesting phenomenon I found of crazy with a webcam. These people that it has I guess, a positive net effect of the fact that people can interact with each other, social outcasts can have their little groups, and people in popular society have their groups and everything too. You can meet up from hobbies and forums. I've met many people, from playing cars, actually done some shooting with some people from 4chan as well. I've never had really a bad experience, which is weird because I think online dating is creepy, but I'll go hang out and hand someone a handgun that I've just met, and that works out. But that all aside, what I'm going to be doing is my first little rant here, and I guess you'd call it a video response. I'm new to YouTube, so I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but we'll hopefully be forgiven for that. I'm going to point out Parkourdude91, or his new name, Deagle Nation. For those who aren't aware of him, he is some early 20s, overweight, balding, claims that he is a former active, soon-to-be Marine in the Army. The story changes constantly, so it's hard for me to list what his claim is as of today. Maybe tomorrow it'll be a little different. As of last, he's claiming he's joined the Army as a Marine, which doesn't make sense since they're different branches, and he was finally figured out what MOS stands for, which is roughly your job, and he's considering himself a private first class in the Army Marines, or maybe I got that backwards, but he's using a Marine MOS for an officer. So I'd like him to try to clear that one up, but he's already banned me from comments because that's how he deals with things, is unless it goes his way, there's no room for debate, which is something I've seen all over the internet to start with. But the video I've chosen to kind of poke fun at and or critique, whatever you want to call it, is his newest one, which is the funniest case to me of sour grapes I've seen in a long time. For those who don't know, he has a complete worship for the IMI Desert Eagle and says that it's an issued sidearm to the United States, and especially the Marines and Spec Ops, which apparently now they're their own branch as well. So I don't even know, but that all aside, let's go to this. The newest video is why airsoft weapons are better than real guns, and it's a top 10 list. He has 9 reasons listed. That starts it off just how it should be. Absolutely sums this up as it is. But I want to point out a couple of these points. Is he says airsoft is cheaper. Well, he's got a point there. The one thing I would like to point out is Mosin Nagant, is about $650. I looked it up for if you want to get one in airsoft, and I understand that it's probably not as common to want an airsoft thing. That's very reasonable. I have a couple Mosins, and yeah, I think the most I've ever paid for one is about $150. If you'd like to try to point that out, but that, and also I'm still starting to wonder why he claims the Mosins come in 22, and he never specifies what version of 22, is long rifle, short, or one of the Magnum rounds. Because mine, I haven't killed myself, and I'd be firing a 7.62 by 5.4R out of them. Maybe I should be dead. Says we don't need a real gun because we live in the suburbs, or not unless you live in the ghetto. Well, maybe you don't need anything, but I hate to go back and use the old term, you don't call it the Bill of Needs. I have a concealed carry permit in the state I live in. It's very easy to get, thankfully, which is, I mean, well, I won't sidetrack with that about how don't we have a Second Amendment to start, but, I work in banking. I work in Center City of the town I work at, and it's a pretty nice area, and I live in a nice area, but you don't know. I've had someone try to mug me before I turned 21, had a carry permit. Thankfully, pocket knife did the job, just brandishing, cooled the situation down, talked him out of it, nobody got hurt. Firearm, same deal. But, it's not about what we need. It's what we want, and we have legal. I mean, I went through the paperwork, everything. I'm not a crazy person. I'm not a criminal. So why do I have to justify my need to you when even the government that has put different restrictions on us says that I can have this? Where do you get the idea that you now have more claim than the government? He says you can shoot anything you want with airsoft guns. I fail to see why that's much of a good idea. It's one of those things that I think most people who shoot actively or as a hobby would realize. You treat everything like a serious toll. Yes, it's not a Nerf gun where you can kind of sneak up and poke someone. You can lose an eye. You can get injured playing airsoft. It's not a hobby of mine or anything, but I'm not going to sit there and think, oh, this is not an actual live round. I'm going to go up and shoot my mom when she's making dinner. Yeah, it'd be really embarrassing being a guest in someone's house and then, oh, there you go, you got shot. It's stupid. You should treat anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't want someone to do that with a paintball gun either. They have a possibility of causing some injury, but overall they wouldn't be considered anywhere as fatal as a real bullet. So, but you just don't act stupid with guns. It's that simple. Mentions they have larger clips. I'm still waiting to see a clip for airsoft. I've seen magazines, but let's not even start with that argument because that's just too much fun. He says, the other points he makes are, you can own airsoft if you're a felon. Well, that may apply to some people. It gets to a loose area with owning what kind of things you can have as a felon. Doesn't apply to me or most people who are probably watching this, I would hope. But I fail to see how that's a perk. Like, I mean, is he hiding something? We know, and he has admitted to having multiple misdemeanors, but as I said, I have background. I could even get a stamped tax, which, that's a short barrel rifle, silencers, things like that, fully automatic. I've passed the background check for a tax stamp. I mean, that means there's someone out there who knows that I'm not a threat to society. Whereas, listing, you can get this if you're a felon as a perk is unsettling at best. He does mention one thing is you can get a lot of expensive things for a lot less money. In all reality, no matter if I win the lottery or not, I doubt I would be able to touch some of the cool things that I'd really enjoy, like being a student history. MG42 would be top of the list. I don't play the lottery, so it'll be probably pretty hard for me to win the lottery and afford one. You could get one in airsoft. I'll give him that. I mean, as I said, it's not as much a stab at the sport, it's just a stab at the hell is this rant going on. So I really just don't know what to say towards that. And the one thing too is he mentions, there's all the other things. You have a much larger selection. Well, you don't have a larger selection. Yes, you can, as I just supported him, was say you can get a lot of the full automatics and things like that are never imported or very rare to find, hard to find. Some guns aren't remanufactured. There's a lot of cool things that are real, older stuff. So I just don't get what the whole point is of saying that, because it kind of goes both ways. I've never seen, a Brown Bess copy in airsoft. If someone made one, I don't know, that'd be cool. I'm unaware of it, but it could be out there. But I just kind of wanted to start this out, and this is absolutely terrible quality, I know, but I just had a couple free minutes, so old computer, old webcam. If I get into this, have a little more interest, I'll put a couple more in. But I just want to start this out and kind of have some fun. And as I said, if you guys, there's his free call. He can either call me back out and try to accuse me of whatever he would like to. But at the same time, too, anyone who looks at this and wonders who the hell I'm talking about or anything, get ready for a storm of just insanity. So, have fun with it, or don't. It's up to you. I'm going to be doing some other stuff, hopefully, if I get some free time, but I'm just absolutely swamped with my jobs and life in general. It's good, though. But just want to start this out, and, well, kind of rambling. I want to do these all kind of unrehearsed, off the cusp, because I feel that's going to be a better delivery. I'm going to probably do some rough scripts, some other stuff, but I also want to have this out so this way I can see a transformation. But, so, check me out, have some fun. Hope you enjoyed.